Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Darkjack and I'm going to show you my stats for Titanfall and my loadouts now that I've reached Gen 10. And I'm a pretty decent player. I've won 80% of my games because my backpack is absolutely huge. I use the carbine mostly and I play mostly attrition with a little bit of hardpoint. And I have a 13.4 KD against players and bots and a 4 KD against just players. And a 10 KD over the last few games. And I'm going to show you my loadout and explain my strategy for how I do that. And these are the rest of my stats. You can always pause the video if you want to look at anything in more detail because I go by this really fast. I use mostly the carbine and the shotgun, and there's really not much of a point to using anything else. And for my Titan, I use mostly the quad rocket and the chain gun. Everything else is not that great in my opinion. And I do well on all the maps except for Airbase because that's a campaign map that I play a lot. And here's my miscellaneous. Now for my loadouts, this is my primary hardpoint loadout. I use a shotgun, extended mags with active radar. I use that to find players, and I use that whenever I enter a new area with satchel charges to clear out the flags with dead man's trigger. So I throw a satchel charge down, and then if I die while capping a flag, the satchel charge will kill the enemy player. And I got my SMG. This is my secondary setup for attrition with minion detector. I always use minion detector in attrition with arc grenades to kill the minions. But mostly I use the carbine, which is this class. I use this probably 80% of the time in attrition. And this is probably the best class in the game in my opinion. Using the suppressor and the radar pulse gives me a huge advantage when it comes to situational awareness. Because I can see them through the walls with the radar, and they can't see me because of the silencer. And this is my hardpoint class when I want to go long range. I use the guardianship and satchel charges for clearing out areas for when the shotgun doesn't work. And this is my long-range class. The snipers in this game are not very good at all, but the G2A4 is the best setup for long range. And then with my secondary classes, I have another shotgun class, but this one has the guardianship, whereas the other one had dead man's trigger. And then I have a carbine without a silencer for long-range situations. Then for attrition, I have the carbine with minion detector without a silencer. And then I have a smart pistol for when I want to focus on killing minions and grunts rather than players. Because a smart pistol is not very good for killing players, but it's awesome for killing minions and getting a high score in attrition. Now for Titans, I always use the Ogre because it is the best one overall. And I save my core ability for when my shields are low, so I can automatically get full shields. And the chain gun is the best against players. And then for going against Titans, the quad rocket with the rapid fire is probably the best, but it's not very good against pilots. And then I have everything else with just different guns with the same Titan. And then I also have the Atlas and the Strider as well, but I want to mix it up because the Strider is a lot of fun to use, but it's really not that great. You die too easily in the Strider, so use the Ogre with the chain gun. And then I also have hardpoint classes, so I use this when I'm not in the Titan, and I have Big Punch because the Auto Titan uses Big Punch a lot in close range. And then I have a Strider for getting around the map easily and then getting out to capture hardpoints. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you learned something about Titanfall, and I'll see you later.